Alright, I'm trying something kind of new. Not really, like I know Cry has done it. But I'm actually going to read a story I kind of helped write. Like, it's based off a roleplay that I did. It was a slash roleplay, which means this 13-page story. 13-page story, believe it or not, is 13 pages. Will actually be slash, which is guy and guy. But this was written a long time ago. Like, the thing was typed up not that recently, like during the school year. But the fuck. But anyways, but the actual roleplay was a long time ago, like at least a year ago. But like I should be wearing my glasses at all times, you know these. But I don't like to wear it because I don't like how I look in it. But for this video, mainly because I have to read, I'm going to look at it. So cue the music. No, I'm kidding. Oh god, I should never do that again. Yeah. But I'm taking my glasses off. I don't like it. I can read without them. I'm not completely blind. But so yeah, I'm going to begin reading this now. Oscar Murray walked along the halls of Smithson High School, practically in the middle of nowhere. He spotted a new kid, obviously not from around here. He had an odd knack for spotting new kids, especially cute boys. Hey guys, should we go see what's up with that new boy? He asked his group of friends. He wasn't popular, at all. But these were just a small group of guys that liked the same things he did. Or most of the same things he did. Yeah, they said quietly. Hey, new kids need love as well, Oscar said, laughing hysterically. I'm laughing hysterically at all. Walking along unfamiliar halls of Smithson High School, Kayden stopped and glared at a small group of girls. They were staring at him, with their mouths gaping open. What, is there a flying fish somewhere? What am I missing? Kayden asked sarcastically, looking around in mock confusion. It was only his first day at this new school, yet he already hated 90% of the school population. He was a transfer student from the New York High School of Art, or as he liked to call it, NYHSA. Deciding to test out a theory, Kayden walked backwards, pretending that there was no one in the hallway. He bumped into a rather attractive blonde boy with piercing blue eyes. He gave an apologetic smile to the boy, as he didn't seem to be hostile. Oh, yeah, there's nothing on that page. Oh, it's fine, Oscar said cheerfully. I was actually on my way to talk to you, he added, smiling. I'm Oscar Murray, by the way, he added quickly, holding his hand out for a handshake. Kayden began to smile as the boy introduced himself. I'm Kayden Clark. K as in okay, Den as in, Bearden, he said, laughing for a second when he paused. Clark as in Kent Clark, who is my alter ego, he said, raising his hand to give Oscar a high five. Oscar, however, did not raise his hand at first. I'm sorry, where I come from we give high fives, not handshakes, Kayden said. It's fine, not many people around here give high fives, Oscar insisted, raising his hand for the high five. Kayden raised up his hand and gave Oscar a high five, now looking into his beautiful, captivating, bright blue eyes. Kayden pulled out 5 delicious-looking rainbow suckers and handed them to Oscar and his group of friends. Sucker! Oscar shrieked, grinning like a total idiot. I get, Oscar began before being interrupted by his friend Sean, very hyper. Shane finished for him. Can I talk? Oscar snapped playfully at Shane. Kayden laughed when Oscar was interrupted. I used to carry hundreds of these to school, but it looks like I only need 6 at this school, Kayden said, pulling the sucker out and eating it. The bell's about to ring, Oscar said suddenly. Indeed, the bell rang 3 minutes later. See, I told you so, he said playfully, smiling and sucking on the sucker. Kayden looking at Kayden's chocolatey brown eyes. I guess you've become a psychic to the bell when you've been going here for ages, Kayden chuckled. What do you have for first period, he asked, slightly worried that he wouldn't know anyone in first period. English. The others have math, Oscar frowned. I hate math, he muttered. He took Kayden's hand and dragged him to first period English. He sort of flung him into the seat next to him. I'm sorry, did I hurt you? He asked Kayden. Nah, I'm fine. It's not as bad as what those blasted jocks did to me, Kayden said quietly. He recalled what had happened earlier this morning. His whole ordeal with those bloody gits. What did they do to you? Oscar asked angrily. Oops. Want to get him back? He asked, grinning mischievously. The teacher just shushed him before walking up to the board. "Students, we have a new member to our class," he began. "Kayden Clark, would you mind coming up?" the teacher asked. If I do that, it's because I don't know. It's a habit. Yeah, let's get him back, Kayden whispered to Oscar before standing up. "Yes, Mr. Sampson, I would love to come up and introduce myself." I can't read it like it's supposed to be read. I'm sorry. He began. Oh, wait, no. "Well, I'm Kayden Clark, and I love candy and creativity," he began. "Where I come from, expressing yourself wasn't a complete no-no," he finished, smiling and walking back to his seat next to Oscar. "How did I do?" he asked Oscar. "Well, Mr. Sampson looks unhappy. So I say you did a splendid job," Oscar said, laughing. Mr. Sampson walked over. "Oscar, I will have a meeting with your parents later on about your behavior in this class for the past month, and your utter defiance," Mr. Sampson said. "Well, Mr. Sampson, my parents are working late all this week at the factory, but I think you should have already known that," Oscar said. Mr. Sampson scoffed and walked off. Kayden's mouth was gaping wide open. He took out a piece of paper and wrote a note that said, "That's completely unfair," signed Kayden Kickbutt Clark, then passed it to Oscar. Oscar nodded and responded, "Yeah, he's a big homophobe. That's the only reason he treats me like that," signed Oscar Ninja Squirrel Murray. He then passed it to Kayden. They continued to pass notes until Mr. Sampson said something that ticked Kayden off. "How dare he insult Romeo and Juliet, my favorite Shakespeare play," Kayden said in a low, angry whisper. Indeed, he had insulted Romeo and Juliet by writing on the board that they were stupid, maddling of teenagers. "You want to ditch this place?" Kayden asked. "Yeah, I know somewhere we can go," Oscar said, raising his hand. Mr. Sampson called on him. "May I go to the bathroom?" he asked. Kayden did the same. "May I go to the bathroom?" he asked, and Mr. Sampson let both of the boys go. "I'm glad we're on the first floor," Oscar muttered, jumping out of the first floor window. Kayden jumped out of it as well, since there was only one foot off the ground or so. Kayden followed Oscar to the horrid excuse for a car. "Is this piece of junk yours?" he asked, raising his eyebrows. "My parents', but yeah, I guess," Oscar said, hopping in and starting the car. After Kayden got in, he drove to the forest on the edge of the town. "It's got a crystal clear river that we can swim in." "That's awesome sauce," Kayden said, grinning. "Kind of cliche, taking a young, new kid somewhere that no one else ever goes to," he said, laughing. "Tell me, Oscar, do you plan on to harming me in there?" God, if this wasn't meant for school, I would have total yaoi sex scene right there. I'm going to read the other page later. Actually, no, I got time. I'm sorry if you don't like this. "No, of course not," Oscar said, stopping the car. "We're here," he said, getting out of the car and leaning over to unbuckle Kayden from the car. "I'm unbuckling it for you because it's rather hard to get," he explained. Kayden felt his face go red. "Thanks," he said quietly, looking at Oscar. "I just met him, but I find him so entrancing, beautiful, and sweet," he thought, as Kayden looked up at him and smiled. "Just give me another minute," Oscar said quietly. "Someone's about to unbuckle. Hold up," he said again, about to stutter. Why must this blasted buckle be so... Why must this blasted buckle be so stubborn?" he thought, finally getting it to unbuckle. "Thank God!" he screamed, pulling up and hanging his head on the car roof. Kayden laughed a little. "Are you okay?" he asked, smiling and hopping out of the car. "My poor Oscar," he said, fake sobbing. "Well, come on, you'll live," he said, taking Oscar's hand gently. "I'm fine," Oscar said, rubbing his head, He increased his grip on Kayden's hand, and taking the fellow boy through the woods to the sparkling river. "I swear this river sparkles more than Edward Cullen," Oscar heard Kayden exclaim. And on that note, I will be ending this part of the video and continuing the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about the other 5 pages and a few more videos.